right, y'all, here we go. This is about to be damn near 20 minutes, but we're gonna get right into it. Oh my goodness.
Welcome to the EA Sports
Marshall,
UFC
man.
5 gameplay deep dive. My name is Marshall Mine,
Yeah,
and
Marshall.
today
Look at
we'll be
that.
talking about
Look at
some
that.
brand new features designed to deliver a whole new level of MMA authenticity and immersion to the game. We'll look at features like the real impact system, new striking animations, doctor stoppages, a brand new exciting submission system, and plenty more. And with that,
All right,
let's
here we
get
go.
into it. The first thing I want to talk about today
So
is
here
the
go the real impact system. Ooh,
which
said
is
that at the same
essentially
time.
a catchphrase for the conglomeration of health events,
Ooh.
facial injuries, full body hit reactions, overall
that
damage,
John
and the
Jones,
impact they have on
that
the fight.
sidekick was
Unlike previous
a
games
lot more
where
realistic,
injuries
and
to
y'all saw the
athletes
shorts
were mainly
moving with it too.
superficial,
I like that.
UFC 5 introduces an
like Yair's
innovative
there. That's
impact system that accurately reflects the physical toll the athlete undergoes during a match, which influences both the athlete's condition and the ultimate match results. This is demonstrated visually with the all-new damage icons.
Damage
Now, before we get
icons.
into these
Okay.
icons,
Damage
I can't
icons
stress
is something that
enough
I
just
wanna
how
hear
much more
about.
impactful this new damage system is going to be in UFC 5. The few times that I've played against another player, every single time I got cut, it was like, oh my god, you really got to reevaluate what you're doing. You got to watch out. In UFC 5, as you guys are going to see once we start talking about these damage icons in a moment,
Yo,
getting
can I
cut,
turn
getting
off
damaged,
captions?
it really means
I don't
something.
want
It has an impact in the
don't
way the
even know
fight
why that shit
actually
is on.
plays out. The vision penalty icon appears
Okay,
when
there we
an
go.
athlete gets cut in areas of the face where bleeding
Oh,
could lead
so
to
that little
visual
eye at the, I
impairment,
thought it was
like
perks,
the
so it's
brows,
actually
the
when
eye,
they
the forehead,
cut.
etc.
Okay.
This leads to an increase in the amount of damage you take on the affected side while the penalty is active. If no further impact occurs to the
Get that shit
affected
off of
location
here,
in
bro.
30 seconds, the penalty is lifted. The penalty is also
okay.
lifted at the start of a new round. The breathing penalty icon appears when an athlete sustains an injury to the nose or mouth. This impact will
Oh, so they
decrease the
actually got this in the
short-term stamina
game?
recovery for as long as the penalty is active. If the
Oh,
athlete
so
can
broken
protect
noses and
against
shit.
subsequent damage to the affected
And it's gonna mess
area,
up they
the penalty
stam.
will be lifted in 30 seconds or at the start of a new round.
Oh, same clinch
The
system.
stun icons
Same
are
clinch
broken
system.
down
I saw
into
that.
3 different icons: the head stun icon, the body stun icon, and the leg stun icon.
So
The
there's
head
3
stun
different
icon
stages, though.
appears
Why
as
is
the
that?
result of any health event to the head. The body stun icon appears
So why would
as
it be
the result
yellow,
of any
though?
health
That's
event to
kind
the
of why I'm
body.
confused
And
at.
the leg stun icon appears as the result of any health event
That was
to
a
the
good leg
leg.
kick.
The health icons are also broken down into 3 different icons: the heart icon, the arm health
Bro,
icon,
I'm so
and the leg
confused
health
right
icon. These icons
confused. This
authentically
shit is
represents
confusing me.
the effect a submission attempt can have on an athlete.
Okay.
The heart icon appears when a player loses a chunk of their maximum stamina due to a deep choke.
Oh, okay, that
The goal
makes
here
sense.
is to
That makes
accurately
sense.
represent how chokes,
Where's the body
especially
triangle
deep
at?
ones, can negatively affect an athlete's overall stamina. The
Okay, that
arm
makes
health
sense.
icon is meant to signal a loss in maximum block health due to a deep arm submission. Whether it's an arm bar or a
Oh, so
kimura,
if you go for an
overextending
arm bar,
the
you can
arm
lose
realistically
like actual
leads to a
block health.
reduction in blocking ability.
That's pretty interesting.
UFC 5 represents
Wow.
this authentically. The leg health icon signals a loss in permanent leg health when a player survives a deep leg lock. Leg locks, of course, are some of the most potent submissions an athlete can endure. So whether
Right.
it's a deep heel hook or a
So
calf
we can see
slicer,
right here,
surviving will not leave
John
the athlete
denies.
unscathed, and
He denies
UFC 5
again.
authentically represents this reality. The next thing we'll take
Okay,
a look at
that's in
is
Barbosa.
doctor
Oh my
stoppages.
goodness.
For the first time in the EA Sports UFC series, the doctor
So
stoppage
what is
will
the?
now
I
be
don't understand
another
what
viable
yellow,
way for
orange, and
players
red
to end
means.
the
Is
match.
that like
the doctor
I don't
stoppage
understand how
icon
that
will
works.
appear initially as a result of any facial
Ooh, good
injury,
head kick.
not including injury to the mouth. At first, the icon appears yellow, but a subsequent impact is received on the
Okay, that
affected
makes
area.
sense. That
the
makes
icon
sense.
will appear
Okay,
more red.
I understand it.
The
now.
more red
That
the
makes
icon
sense.
becomes, the closer the ref is to halting the match briefly and requesting a doctor check.
Okay.
If the doctor examines the injury and determines it is not severe enough to warrant a stoppage, he will exit
So
the cage
this is the
and
thing, though.
match
Is it
will
going to be like
continue.
undisputed
However,
in
if
Undisputed
he
3 to where it
examines
was
the
like
injury and
the first
determines that it
time,
is indeed
you know, he
significant
goes
enough,
out,
He
it's
will
cool.
signal to the
But the
ref
second time
and
he
the
comes
match
in,
will
he's gonna
end.
stop it. Like
The
you know,
introduction
if
of Dr.
it gets stopped
to
a
UFC
second
5
time,
is just
the fight's getting
another way
stopped.
that the
If that
game
makes sense.
truly
I don't know
delivers
if that makes
an
sense.
authentic mixed martial arts experience. But it also
let's
adds
see.
another layer to gameplay.
It looks like the
Being
pull counters
defensively
are way
sound
more
has never
fluid.
been more important. And because of this, there has been some significant enhancements to the core
Oh, good
defensive
duck.
tools in the game. Footwork, blocking, head movement, and lunges have all received significant
straight to the body,
upgrades,
feint, slip.
resulting in a
It looks like
substantial
everything is more
improvement in
is
your
smoother.
reliability for defensive maneuvers. Now, this is an
Oh,
area
was that
lot
a
of
new
players
elbow
definitely
animation
complained
that
about
we
in
just
UFC
saw?
4, right? Like
Was that a new
pressure is
elbow?
too strong, block breaking is too strong, being defensively sound in UFC 4 is not as easy as it's supposed to be. And don't get me wrong, in UFC 5, when you run into a player that knows exactly what they're doing, you can definitely still get run down with strikes. But as we start talking about these new defensive tools in UFC 5 and how they've been upgraded, how they've been buffed, once you master these and once you start using them as intended, you're going to notice you'll have a lot more success in UFC 5 than you did in UFC 4
okay.
when it comes
That
to
makes
dealing
sense.
with
That makes
pressure and
sense.
just overall aggression.
Right, that makes
in
sense.
UFC 5,
Slip,
head
ooh.
movement in all
Anderson Silva
directions
actually
is
got
far
his
more
real
responsive.
shorts now.
It is faster and it
Yeah.
costs less stamina.
Woo, look at that
In
head
addition to
kick.
that,
Okay,
the
that was clean.
vulnerability incurred while using head movement has been reduced.
Okay, I take
Altogether,
everything I
these
said.
advancements
Jerry
collectively
actually got.
establish head
No, he
movement
don't got
as
his
an
real
even
hair.
more
No, he do. He got the
defensive tool
ponytail.
in
Listen,
UFC
I'm so.
5. Lunges
He
will now
finally,
also
he actually
cost
got
less
his
stamina,
haircut.
as well
Thank
as
you,
concede
UFC.
less
Jerry got his
vulnerability,
haircut.
which means players will
Look at
be
Rob
able to
Whittaker.
use them
Slip.
a bit more
Okay,
freely
I'm liking
compared to
this.
UFC 4.
It looks
Let's not
more
forget
fluid.
about footwork. The significance of the footwork stat has been amplified in UFC 5, specifically when it comes to locomotion.
Leg kick. Okay.
Athletes with a high footwork
Valentina
stat
versus
will move
Aldana.
noticeably faster, and athletes with low footwork stats will move
Okay.
slower. So if your goal is to operate from the outside and be
It looks like
slick
the
and
lunging
run
jab
circles
animation
around
is
your
gonna be
opponent,
different, too.
This will be a much
Keep
more
noticing that.
viable strategy in UFC 5. Now, this topic of defense has always been a nagging issue in the EA Sports UFC community, and I really wanted to dive a bit deeper into this just in case I missed something, which is why I sat down with Yves Gomez, an EA Sports UFC developer who, by the way, used to be a game changer. Some of you probably already know who this is. He explained to us a little bit deeper in regards to what we've already talked about, right? With the head movement, the lunges,
Right,
the locomotion.
right.
He goes a little bit deeper and not only explains to us what they did, but also why they did it. What was the logic behind
That
why
that kind of
they
makes sense.
made
Yeah.
those
That makes
decisions
sense.
that they made. So here's Yves talking about these changes. All right, so can you talk about how vulnerability is going to affect head movement in UFC 5?
The frames part of it is just the first part, like the first buff, and
It looks
was
like
also
everything is so much
buffed
smoother.
regarding the stamina cost. It now costs a lot less across the
I don't know
board,
how I feel about the
and
octagon being so
the
bright,
vulnerability
but
was decreased,
everything looks
and
much
the
more
mitigations
smoother.
were increased. We also added.
I don't know how to feel about
to
this.
where
These animations. I don't know how to feel.
dodge sideways against the frontal attack, and it still catches you.
Oh, that was clean.
If you're trying to dodge,
This
the
is
attack,
Marshall playing. This
don't
is so
get out
clean.
of the
Oh,
way
I'm
in
loving this so
time,
far.
It will still grant you a little bit of vulnerability.
Leg kick, boom,
because of
straight.
just
Oh,
the
that was a
way
minor
the
flash.
punch is glancing off your
Oh, I
face.
like this.
All right, so earlier when you said frames,
I'm not gonna
you
lie
saying
to
that
y'all.
fighters with higher head movement stats will now
I
have
was
access
wrong.
to more
Not gonna lie,
evasive
I'm
properties,
kinda
which
liking
will
it. I
allow
ain't
them
gonna
to
lie.
evade
Kinda
shots
feeling
a lot
it.
easier than say UFC 4.
Very slightly. It
Look at
was
Dom
buffed
Cruz
across the
model.
board
That
by
model's
one frame.
clean.
The low end is not
Oh.
as low as
Oh.
before. So a fighter with a bad head movement stat
Takedown
won't be
feint?
as slow.
That gotta
And
be
as the fighters
D-Mart.
get
He the only
tired
person I
throughout
know that
the
use
fight,
takedown feints
they
like that.
don't get chunks of slowness added to them. Yeah, but overall, the timing
Oh,
of
good
it
oblique.
is slightly faster and varies
Okay.
more granularly.
And what about with lunges when it comes to vulnerability?
I'm not gonna lie to y'all. Respect to my guy. I ain't listened to a damn word he said. I've been looking at this damn
When you lunge
gameplay.
away from a strike, you take less damage.
The clinch is the same.
What about when you lunge
That's
directly
pain.
into a strike?
Pain.
Are we still gonna have
Clinch
vulnerability
looks the
with
same.
that? Has that been increased? Has that been reduced?
That gives you vulnerability, which has been decreased. Yeah, it was a bit much. Yeah, it was like maybe the most common way of getting like a flash KO. You can see it a lot.
In
Right.
terms of the footwork stat, right? Like showing the changes between the fighters that are faster and fighters that are a bit slower. Like we're definitely getting a bigger difference between those two.
Why Marshall look if Marshall's happy about this, then I'm cool with it. If he happy about it, I'm happy about it.
More precisely, that
He
high
sound cool
end
with it.
stays the same. So someone with maxed out footwork stat will remain just as fast. The changes that someone on the low end of it will be slower.
Defense is not the only important aspect of a match, though. And in UFC 5, going on the offense has never felt better. UFC 5 introduces brand new animations for punches, kicks,
Look at that hit
elbows,
reaction.
and knees.
Okay, we about to see these new animations.
The new
finally.
leg kick animation is beautiful, and the knees are so realistic. and
I like that
powerful.
knee. That looked like
The new
John. I
pivot
cannot wait to
electro
use John
animation
Jones.
will come in
Ooh,
handy when
that
dealing
counter
with
was
pressure. The
clean.
new front kick to the body
Okay, the
animation
new front
is
kick looks
snappy
clean.
and beautiful.
It looks
But
similar
that's
to
not all.
Undisputed 3.
The power of next
Very
generation
similar
graphics,
to
visual
Undisputed
cues,
3.
as well as hit reactions showing just how impactful
Jerry's
strikes
new
are,
model is so
have all
clean,
been
bro.
amplified.
Jerry finally got his
When you
model,
throw
bro.
a
It's
strike
clean.
and it makes impact with
Boom.
the athlete, improved facial deformation sends a ripple through the face and body. UFC 5 has also revamped striking controls to be more dynamic.
Okay, here we go.
giving players
This
a
is
lot
something
more
important. These
control
damn controls.
over basic strikes,
What they gonna
advanced
talk about
strikes,
with this?
as well as combinations. Unlike in UFC 4, where you had to
that was
press
so-
two
that was
buttons
so ugly.
simultaneously to perform a strike as basic as an
Remote, yeah.
uppercut. In UFC 5, it is as simple as holding the right bumper and pressing either square or triangle for the
I don't know how
knee
I feel
and rear
about this.
uppercuts. A new dedicated spin input
Whew,
has
that
also
spin
been
look clean.
introduced to the game. And so rather than having to remember a multitude
I'm loving
of button
John's model, by the
combinations
way.
for
And he
different
look, he
spin
even got the
attacks,
toe tape on
the
his
X
foot.
and circle buttons pressed together will
To
always
spin?
result in a spin. And when you pair that with
I don't
another button
know.
input,
Damn,
like
I don't know
circle,
how I
for
feel
example,
about that.
Your fighter will perform a turning side kick to the body. The button input
I
to
don't know.
initiate
That's gonna
clinch
take
has
some
also
getting used
changed,
to.
and it's a change
That's gonna
that
take
I
some getting
personally
used to.
really appreciate. It now maintains a uniformity with the takedown input,
takedown interest
which
look the same.
enhances the overall experience. In UFC 5, triggering a clinch is
Ah,
as
this
simple
clinch,
as simultaneously
man. It's the
pressing
same
square
thing.
and X. But that's not all that was done to the clinch. And I definitely
Okay,
had to find out
what?
from Eves if anything has
What?
been done to improve the clinch.
Please,
in
please
UFC
tell me.
4 because
Please
I know
tell
I'm
me.
not the only one that's curious about this.
Yes,
a lot of
you're
players
not.
who had issues with the clinch because let's
Yes.
be honest, man, it was a sore spot in UFC 4. A lot of those same players are going to be very curious. What was done? How was it improved?
Yes.
What changes are we going to see that will make our quality of life a lot better
Mm-hmm.
in UFC 5 in regards to the clinch? So here's Eves giving us
Okay,
some
here we go, y'all.
insight
You're gonna talk
into
about the
what
clinch
was
right here.
done
Let's hit it.
to the clinch in UFC 5.
Yeah, so we did a few things. The main
Okay.
thing is that it is easier to prevent people from clinching you by striking them. Because one frustrating thing is that, okay, you're gonna clinch me, I'm just gonna punch out of it. But in UFC 4, almost always you would punch them and they would clinch you through it as an
Okay.
exchange. Exchanges into the clinch can still happen, but if you're punching someone with a straight attack, we figured out it would make sense that that's
So
your
jabs and
push
straights is gonna
that
stop the
fence
clinch.
away, not let them clinch you. So any jab with straight will nullify a clinch attempt. Now, furthermore, any retreating
Okay.
attack, like any sort of retreating attack, makes the clinch not stick. You're moving away, right? So they can't clinch you if you use
Okay.
a retreating attack. And we made more subtle changes to the flow of when you're striking someone as you're trying to escape the clinch. For specific,
I'm not gonna lie. I'm kind of on the fence about this.
that's it, right? That is still possible, but it is harder to do now, and it is especially harder from the cage single under position.
Okay.
The defensive striking, the
Whipping
clinch,
them around.
is
Take
generally
down.
more powerful than it seems. The truth is that if people clinch you through your strike,
Mm-hmm.
you actually have the upper hand. If you continue to strike, it will take them out of what they're trying to do. Like you will interrupt them immediately, try to throw you. and stuff.
Oh, hold
Now
on.
let's delve
That's
into
that's
what I
interesting.
consider to be the most
I like that.
exhilarating transformation in EA Sports UFC 5.
What is
The
that?
seamless
Submissions?
submission mechanics.
Okay, Marshall,
For the
tell
first
us more
time
about
in
these
EA
submissions.
Sports UFC history, submissions are now performed without relying on a minigame. In earlier
Ooh.
iterations like UFC 4, triggering a submission, be it a joint lock or a chokehold,
Mm-hmm.
necessitated engaging in a minigame to secure or counter the move.
Mm-hmm.
This element was somewhat detached from the core grappling system. However, in UFC 5, this dynamic has been seamlessly
Let's see if
integrated,
Romero was
making
right
it
about what he said.
groundbreaking evolution.
So he goes to
Allow me to
half
explain.
Okay,
Upon
explain.
initiating a submission
Guillotine?
in UFC 5, for example, a guillotine,
Oh,
you
he
have
just pushed
two
him off.
choices.
Oh,
you can
look.
choose to force your opponent
He
to
has him in
submit
a front
by crossing
headlock.
both
Oh,
feet
that's
behind your
clean.
back and squeezing,
Wow,
leading to a
that
tap,
was clean.
Or you can choose to advance
was
to the
clean.
mount, a more
Look at that.
advantageous position.
Sub counter?
And although you gave up
He tried
the
to go for-
submission,
oh, he
you
put him in
secured
mount.
another favorable position.
Wow.
As the attacker, the direction of your inputs will always remain the same
Wow.
regardless of the submission.
Look at that, bro.
Up to submit and down to advance to another dominant position.
That's
As
crazy.
the player who's defending, the directions of your input will also always remain the same regardless
going
of the
for a
submission.
Darce. Is that a
Left
Darce,
to
right?
escape and also right to escape. Now, I understand the potential worry
Mm.
that this new submission system could oversimplify submission and make them too easy. Well, rest assured, the team accounted for this concern
Whew,
because in
that
tandem with
Darce-
the regular
that
HUD
Darce animation is
displaying
clean. I like
head,
that.
body, and leg health, an additional gauge now shows your submission health.
Mm.
Depending on the strength of the submission, your athlete's submission
Okay,
defense
gives him in
stats,
backside.
as well as your current
Go
stamina
for a rear
level,
naked choke
it
from
might
backside
require
now?
as many
Oh,
as
that's
3 submission
crazy.
attempts to completely
That is
deepen your
insane.
submission
You can go
health.
for a rear
And
naked
when
choke
that
from
happens,
backside.
the submission is instantaneous.
That's crazy.
It is important to note that despite this protective measure, one-shot submissions remain plausible in UFC 5.
Ooh, so
These
you can if you
occurrences are
instantly lock it in,
exceptional
he's gonna
and typically
tap.
happens when a player has severely mismanaged
This
their
clean,
stamina,
y'all. I'm not gonna
granting the
cap. This is
attacker
clean,
a
bro.
substantial stamina advantage.
This is
upon
clean,
initiating
bro.
the submission. When it comes to submissions in UFC 5, stamina is king. So make sure to manage yours. Contextual submissions have also been expanded in
Contextual.
UFC 5. If you find yourself in side control and you try to escape to half guard by framing and bridging up, be
Okay.
careful because your opponent could very well counter that with an
Oh,
on-time.
you see, he
If
tried
you
to
find yourself entangled in a rubber guard,
So
and
he
you
is in
try
rubber
to recover
guard.
the full guard.
Tries to go
Also
to
be
full
careful
guard.
because you could find yourself fighting off an
Wow.
armbar.
Instantly put him in an
UFC 5
armbar.
introduces
Oh,
a
wow.
multitude of contextual submissions
I like that.
once mastered, imbue the ground game with a heightened sense of authenticity.
Okay,
Adding to
I
the
like that.
authenticity of the ground game, the ground and pound system has also been revamped.
No, it
All
hasn't. It
new
looks the
ground
same.
and pound
Stop lying.
animations, from straight punches to
It looks the
hooks,
same.
including high impact elbows to the head and body,
That was clean.
accurately captures the visceral reality of ground and pound. And unlike past iterations of the game,
Oh.
when you stop
Oh,
the opponent
damn,
on the
damn.
ground, the reaction they
Okay,
give is
that gave me
so we
Undisputed
talked about
3
the brand
vibes
new
right there.
submission system. We've
That
talked
gave me
about
straight
contextual
Undisputed 3
submissions. We've
vibes.
talked about the brand new ground and pound, but I'm sure a lot of people still have questions in regards to the core ground game, right? Like, how is it different from UFC 4?
Right.
What else was done to it in UFC 5? And once again, I sat down with Yves Gomez, and he's going to talk about some changes that might not be immediately noticeable, but they'll still have a major impact in the way the game actually plays on the ground.
Right.
If you have pretty much a whole round on the ground, your
Take 'em down
stamina,
right there.
If your permanent stamina
Khabib,
consumption should be
let's
similar
try us out, let's
to
try us
you
out.
have a whole round striking. The ground won't be like a refuge of almost no stamina cost.
Okay.
With the new
I'm not gonna lie.
submission
I don't know
system,
how I feel.
some
I can,
submissions,
if it
you
makes
get a lot
sense,
of
looking
that,
at these
but
graphics,
you
I can tell
didn't
how the
want it
game
to
is gonna
be
feel.
intimidating for new
If that
players
makes
or players
sense.
who are starting to grapple. You can play grapple assist within submissions. It all flows like for a casual player. Like it's pick up and
Damn,
play.
he just instantly
You're
went
not
the
gonna play at a high
backside.
level, but you're not
The
gonna
fact
get
that you
stuck.
can
Now
go
with
for
the
a
new-
rear naked
and
choke
when
is
you're using
crazy.
grapple assist just continues to work as you get into the actual submission. You can use the submission intent to just keep going and finish the opponent. If you're defending, just trying to get up, you can keep just doing that. Or if you're trying to ground and pound,
Turn the
you can escape a
takedowns.
submission right into a ground and pound position. Just
Okay.
punish your opponent for doing it.
Get him
You
out of there.
Try to submit you. You
Straight
can
down the middle.
Even, as a
uppercut.
defender, use the submission intent to counter a submission to one of your own if your fighter can do that. A lot of the
You can
fanciest
counter a
things in the
submission
system
with a submission.
actually happens a
Okay,
lot.
that
You
makes
get to
sense.
see a lot of cool animations because you're often sort of, especially if you have two beginners playing.
It looks a lot
you're
more
constantly
fluid. That's what I'm
racing, and
getting
when
from
you're
this.
racing, like, you know that's when you see the coolest stuff.
deny.
Right? You get into an armbar, Like immediately, you try to escape, I try to finish. We go into a belly down arm bar.
Yeah, this looks a lot more smoother.
Like, all
looking
of
at
this
it now,
crazy stuff, the coolest stuff actually happens a lot.
Throws them over into a triangle.
In your own pace, you can start to explore that,
slow, but he can still get out of this though.
So on and so forth. And there are more changes to it. So it was almost impossible.
That transition right there was clean.
And back flat positions, because when you're doing it, the people could just roll for free and end up in back sitting, which is a little less dominant for you. They cannot do that for free anymore. If they have a stamina advantage, they can do that, just like in UFC 4. If they don't, they can't. So now there is a new contextual transition there for when you're trying to get back mount and they're trying to roll. It's a brand new result. I won't say what it is, but it's not back sitting. Now it should be much more viable to get to the actual.
If y'all don't know what he talking about, when you get somebody and we try to go to back sitting and they're trying to transition to half guard, it puts you
intuitive striking controls, improved defensive tools, and all new submission mechanics. EA Sports UFC 5 offers the most immersive, authentic, and exciting mixed martial arts gameplay experience to date.
I don't know how I feel about that, y'all. I don't know, man. Be your boy, Javen May. Do something productive with your day. Beating your meat. It's not productive. See y'all next time, man. It's been Javen. Peace.